About been fly, check the air miles. It's overthrow in the damn town. Know the game, I'm a cash cow. Hey, business but for pleasure. This chest ain't no checkers. Birds of a feather flock to.
Yo, what's going on, people? You know who it is. It's Tae Wiggs, broadcasting live and direct for the Man Cave as usual. For those subscribers out there that's not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that bell. If you're not subscribed to my Twitter page, hit that burr at TAE_WIGGS. And of course, you know I keep you in tune with the latest information going around the league. First and foremost, glad to be back. Another NBA season underway by yours truly, Tae Wiggs. New faces and new places: LeBron James, JaVale McGee, Lance Steven, Rajon Rondo. All on the Lakers. Tyreke Evans, Indiana Pacers. It's Carmelo Anthony, Houston Rockets, DeMarcus Cousins, a Warrior, Trevor Ariza, Ryan Anderson, Phoenix Suns. You're just looking at all these players. Dwight Howard, I cannot forget about him. He's a Washington Wizard. Kawhi Leonard, a Raptor. I mean, should we keep going? DeMar DeRozan, a Spur. Tony Parker, a Hornet. So we're going to kick things off. Like I said, it's new players and new places to get their careers going. And as I'm looking at what's going on in the league and the things I want to touch on, and we're going to keep it short but sweet today. I'm looking at the talent of rookies that's in the NBA. And, you know, my top 10 rookies that I have chose. You know, this is my opinion. And, you know, I'm going to start at number 10 with some people. I'm going to go Kevin Knox. This is not how I suggested it would be, but these are my top 10 rookies I would like to watch this season. Like I said, number 10, Kevin Knox. Number 9, Miles Bridges. You got Wendell Carter at 8. Colin Sexton at 7. Mo Bamba at 6. Trae Young at 5. Jaren Jackson Jr. Luka Doncic. Marvin Bagley III, and DeAndre Ayton. So that boils down to, and people's like, what do you see? There's a lot of good talent out there, you know, and there's a lot of special talent too that went unnoticed. I would say a Grayson Allen, a Gary Trent Jr. These guys that I'm looking at here on these different teams they play on. You're looking at DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 pick overall by the Phoenix Suns. What he brings to the team, brings length. So far as he's mature. He can score under the basket, and he defends. That's what the Phoenix Suns need. You're not getting that on a daily and a nightly basis from a Tyson Chandler. If DeAndre Ayton can bring that same impact that he had at Arizona into the pros, sky's the limit for this guy. He can have a bright future in the NBA. Maybe, arguably, could be a Hall of Famer. I'm looking at a Marvin Bagley III. He can do it all, man. He can go outside, inside, and he has a dribble. And the player I can compare him to the most, I'm looking at a Marvin Bagley III. I'm looking at him, I compare him to almost like a Chris Webber type player who can put the ball on the floor and who can score at anywhere, at any time as possible when it's needed. Luka Doncic, I'm looking at him, nice size, about 6'4", 6'5", solid guard, get his way on the floor, pick his poisons. I mean, of course these rookies gonna go through their moments in the NBA season. They gonna have some stretches where they can't do something that they normally do on a nightly basis at the previous level. But you know, the NBA is a whole different stage. This is a big boy level. I'm looking at Jaren Jackson Jr. Very long and athletic. He's probably more athletic than his dad was, and his dad played for the San Antonio Spurs. We know Jaren Jackson Jr. plays for Memphis Grizzlies. What he's gonna bring to that team, like I said, his strength, not his strength, but his length. His not probably going to be his strength, because on a nightly basis he's got to go up against the grain to get some of the best that's out there. I'm looking for him to have a solid rookie year. Trae Young, people already compare him to a Steph Curry. How he can get to the floor and can shoot these deep, long range shots like he did in Oklahoma. But watching him in preseason, he had some okay games. He had some games he scored about 10 points. His size, and this is the same thing that I'm comparing to Steph Curry. The people was talking about his size, how small he is. The whole object of the game, can you get the ball to the basket? It's not about size. It's the wheel. Can I do the things that people say I can't do? And this is what Steph Curry is doing right now. He's a living testimony of that. People are saying what Steph Curry couldn't do, and look what he's doing now. NBA 3-point champion, NBA champion, 3 rings at that. Breaking NBA 3-point records. He took people's negatives and turned them to his positives. Steph Curry always find another way to get better. Can Trae Young be the next Steph Curry? Can he find that type of stitch in his game to take his game to another level? Can he evolve to one of them Steph Curry type players? It remains to see, because the knock on him is his size, and can he go up against the grain some of the bigger and faster point guards? The whole thing for him is to get stronger. Mo Bamba, playing for Orlando Magic. I'm looking at this guy here, and he played at Texas, led the nation in blocks. Can he bring that same attitude to Orlando Magic? They had some great big men to come through the Orlando Magic in the previous years. Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard. Up next is Mo Bamba. Can Mo Bamba be the next thing close to Nikola Vukovic and also Aaron Gordon? Can he be that guy that if they needed another 2 blocks or 5 points to put a game away for a win? Can he bring that? We know he can shoot threes. We got a little handle, but the whole thing is he gotta form some type of low post move if he want to bang with the big boys. And this is what I'm talking about. He's not talking about this on ESPN. Can Mo Bamba get that low presence in the paint to get a little jump hook shot? Can he make a move here? That's the way he can control the game. He gotta find a go-to move. A lot of these new guys don't have a go-to move, people. Wendell Carter Jr. I like this kid. I seen him at Duke play, by me living here in North Carolina, the Charlotte area to be exact, watching a lot of Tar Heel and Duke games. And what I'm seeing from Wendell Carter Jr., man, Chicago got a nice piece. And him and Marvin Bagley III is almost the same type of player. And I call Marvin Bagley, I compared him to Chris Webber. And I'm looking at some of these things that here, he's looking very, very similar as well to a Chris Webber. These guys can put the ball on the floor. Chicago has a nice piece. And once I get done with this, I'm going to tell you who should be my Rookie of the Year. My top 3 Rookie of the Year candidates would be Colin Sexton. Strong, the young bull, we already know. Smacking the floor, getting them defensive stands. The whole thing, I would say the knock on him is, will he trust his teammates to make that extra pass? Can he make that extra pass for his teammates? That's the whole thing about him. That's going to be the one knock on. I see him on a couple of fast breaks, and he trying to do a lot on his own. You're on a different level. This ain't college. The guys in the NBA going to speak their mind. If you don't pass them that ball, they going to let you know. So the whole thing about Colin Sexton, on the fast break, will he make that extra pass to trust his teammates? And I like his build. I like how he's not scared to go to the hole. But like I said, got to give the ball up. The Cavaliers got a nice point guard too. And the one thing I'm gonna say about the Cleveland Cavaliers, they always draft a good point guard, and that go all the way back to the Mark Price days, Steve Kerr, Ron Harper. They always draft a nice point guard. Andre Miller, DeJuan Wagner. They keep a nice point guard, Terrell Brandon. Let's see how Colin Sexton fill out through his NBA career. Will he be that next guy the Cavaliers will say, we got the next Kyrie Irving? Because the Cavaliers drafted him. Can't forget about him, the NBA champion, by the way he's in Boston. Kevin Knox. A lot of people say he like Kennedy Meeks. And if you don't know who that is, he played for the Tar Heels. I think he played for the Raptors, if I'm not mistaken. The G League team, the 905 Raptors. And the thing I'm gonna say about Kevin Knox, he's a better Kennedy Meeks. He can move, he can push that ball on the floor. I think the New York Knicks got something good. Once Kristaps Porzingis come back from injury, this team can have something to look up forward to in the future. I like Kevin Knox. Like I said, big guy who can push the ball down the floor. He can rebound and he can pass. The whole thing is, can he do this on a nightly basis too with some of the big guns at that position? Miles Bridges for the Charlotte Hornets. This guy has it all. He has the tools. For a big guy his size that can run down the floor. A lot of these guys, a lot of these young guys in this rookie class that I'm liking in my top 10, Miles Bridges, he can shoot a three. The whole thing about him, can he find that consistent 15 to 12-foot jumper when it's needed? When Kemba Walker get that ball and he set the pick and roll, can he find other ways to score? We seen he had a couple of spectacular dunks too in this preseason. When that's said and done, I'm gonna tell you my top 3 Rookie of the Year choices. Number 1, DeAndre Ayton for the Phoenix Suns. Number 2, Miles Bridges, Charlotte Hornets. By him playing a team like that, the Charlotte Hornets, he's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to get his number called often and early. Number 3, Wendell Carter Jr. I like this guy. Wendell Carter Jr., number 3. If I had to pick a dark horse for Rookie of the Year, I'm going to say dark horse. It may surprise some people because I didn't mention his name. If I had to pick a dark horse for Rookie of the Year, if he gets some consideration, if he gets some looks early, Grayson Allen. Tenacious, fearless, competitor, and he's playing for the Utah Jazz. Utah fans will love him. That's my dark horse. MVP, number 3, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant right now is a 2-time back-to-back NBA champion. We know what he can do. We know he is probably not the best player right now in the league. Some would say LeBron James is still the best player in the league right now. I'm a LeBron fan. I think I'm going to say right now, folks, I think KD is right there on his heels. KD is right there on his heels. Number 2, the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, MVP candidate. Number 1, LeBron James, just because the Lakers haven't been in the playoffs for so long. If LeBron James can put this Laker team as a 4th or a 5th seed, he will be your MVP. Trust and believe that. Best to believe that. I'm not going to tell you nothing wrong. A dark horse for MVP candidate I like out there, I'm going to go with Kyrie Irving. A healthy Boston Celtics squad, if they can keep a number 1 seed, the best record, put it like this: if the Boston Celtics had the best record overall in the league, Kyrie Irving can win your MVP. That's a true statement. Look at my face, not lying. That is a true statement. On that note, 6th Man of the Year. And the reason I chose this one to be 6th Man of the Year, I'm gonna go with Dante Exum of the Utah Jazz. We see him come on in the NBA playoffs, what he did, almost averaging a little bit better than 8 points per. If Dante Exum can find some way to bring that little playoff mode, that little playoff game he put together last year, this past NBA season rather, can he bring that same attitude in the NBA season this year? Because sky's the limit for the Utah Jazz. Sky's the limit. I've been riding with Utah for a while now. I've been telling people about Donovan Mitchell and where he's going to break out. Can Dante Exum break out of that shell? We know he's been injury prone for the last couple of years. Can he break out of that shell and be that guy? Number 2, it's made surprising people for 6th Man of the Year, Dennis Schroeder, who asked for a trade from Atlanta Hawks and got traded to the Thunder. Dennis Schroeder can shock a lot of people what he can do out there for the OKC Thunder. This is a good pickup because Raymond Felton is getting older. He's not the fastest guy as he once was, but if you bring a young legs in like Dennis Schroeder, who can control the offense and can get his own baskets, and he plays defense, that can get Russell Westbrook a blow or two on the bench for a couple of minutes. And I like that pickup by Sam Presti, they GM of the Thunder. That was a nice pickup. Number 1, 6th Man of the Year, Terry Rozier. We see how he handled and commands the basketball team when Kyrie Irving was hurt later on in that season. If Terry Rozier played with that same attitude, man, no lie, Terry Rozier will walk home with the 6th Man of the Year award. Definitely, I believe that. Most improved player, Brandon Ingram. The reason I put Brandon Ingram name on here because with LeBron James, because we know LeBron James on certain nights will command a double team. Can Brandon Ingram on alongside LeBron James, can he step up and take some of that pressure off LeBron James and make the other teams or the other players that's supposed to be guarding him feel like, why is we double teaming LeBron James? Somebody needs to stick on Brandon Ingram. If you could take that pressure off LeBron James and make his workload that much lighter on a nightly basis, Brandon Ingram can be easily your most improved player. Number two, I got up here for most improved player, Dwight Howard. Last year, Dwight Howard probably played his best season, arguably in the last, I would say, 4 years. That's going back to the Lakers. And the one thing is the knock on Dwight Howard is they say he probably played too much. Well, he keep the team loose. And every team need a goofball guy, but sometimes Dwight Howard knows when to get serious. Now you put him on a team with John Wall, Bradley Beal, and them hitters over there, and the Morris boys. Dwight Howard been averaging double every year since he's been in the NBA. If he averaged one this year, he would lead the NBA in all-time history, the double leader. He would pass up Wilt Chamberlain. That's a stat for you. Let me know when they say it on TV, folks. ESPN, come holler at your boy. Fox Sports, come holler at me. This is what I do. This is no gimmick. Tae Wiggs in the flesh. Dwight Howard is a candidate for most improved player of the year. I feel like this is going to be one of the years Dwight Howard might average probably 17 and 12. And we haven't seen Dwight Howard probably average that many points since he probably was in Orlando. We know that Dwight Howard is almost averaging 25 and 15. So if you get a 17 and 12 with Dwight Howard, because the back is healthy now, sky's the limit for the Washington Wizards, a dark horse team in the East. Number one, Andre Drummond is my most improved player. And the reason I'm going with Andre Drummond, big guy. Improve on the free throws. If he can shoot at least 65% from the free throw line, I see you got the Euro step watching him the other night. He just looks so great out there on the floor. He's moving the ball, and Blake Griffin takes some of that pressure off Andre Drummond. They're going to feed off each other. So, Detroit Pistons, what you going to do? Can y'all make a move and go to the playoffs? We going to see. That's my most improved player list. Andre Drummond, number one. Number two, Dwight Howard. Number three, Brandon Ingram. Coach of the year. I'm going to give you three candidates, but I'm going to give you a winner this time. Coach of the year. I'm going to put it like this. If Detroit can find some way to make it to the playoffs, their coach could be a candidate. But these are my three guys right here. Number one, Nick Nurse. Raptors. I haven't seen a coach win Coach of the Year in back-to-back. Nick, and I'm saying back-to-back, I mean talking about a team organization. We haven't had a team organization win Coach of the Year in back-to-back. Nick Nurse, Toronto Raptors. Number two, Charlotte Hornets, head coach. Just because he was the assistant with Greg Popovich, and you got Tony Parker over there in a Hornets jersey. Can he break Nicholas Batum up that shell? Number two could be the Hornets Coach of the Year. Anything is possible. Number three, Luke Walton. Just because he's on the Lakers and you got LeBron James to make the team that much better. All right, let's get into the real nitty-gritty things. We know the NBA champions last year were the Golden State Warriors. LeBron James packed his things east and headed west. Business preferences, rather. When I'm looking at the who can be, this is how the playoff season is going to look to me this year. Start at number 8, New Orleans Pelicans. Can the Pelicans rely on what they did last year? Can they make that move to be a better playoff team? I get to number 8. Number 7, Portland drop. I got the Portland Trailblazers at number 7. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard in the playoffs. Number 6, the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs for the first time, I would say, about 5 years now. So you get the Los Angeles Lakers. Number 5, the Utah Jazz. Number 4, OKC Thunder, PG-13 in the Brody. Number 3, San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs, with them making the playoffs, can Greg Popovich will have what? If he can win 50 games, it'd be 20 plus seasons. I want to say 21 plus seasons. That his team has won 50 or more games. Number 3, the Spurs. Number 2, the defending champions, your Golden State Warriors. And number 1, overall best record in the West, Houston Rockets. We go head east with this one. Come checking in number 8, the Charlotte Hornets back in the playoffs. Number 7, those Cleveland Cavaliers make it back to the playoffs. Life after LeBron James won't be that hard. Number 6, freak to greet, the Milwaukee Bucks. Number 5, the Indiana Pacers. Victor Oladipo does it again. And you know this. And once I get done saying this about the Pacers, this team right here is loaded. So on a nightly basis in the NBA, the Indiana Pacers are going to bring in. They could be easily one of your dark teams that could be in the Eastern Conference Finals. They long and athletic. Miles Turner. I'm looking at these guys. These guys is long, and you got a guy that's off the bench with a lot of energy, Kyle O'Quinn. You got Domantas Sabonis, Thaddeus Young, and Tyreek Evans. I like what I'm seeing from these guys. The Philadelphia 76ers. I would like to pick up a Wilson Chandler, and that's going unnoticed because for the last 6-7 seasons, Wilson Chandler been averaging 21 points per game in them last seasons. So that team got another scorer, another defender at that, a low-key great defender. You just don't see it because you don't have NBA league pass, and Wilson Chandler is a nice pickup for the 76ers. Kudos for that pickup right there. Washington Wizards at number 3. Yes, you got Jeff Green and Dwight Howard. Can this team make that move and be that team? Can John Wall and Bradley Beal put this team on their back and get this team to the Eastern Conference Finals? Number 2, the Toronto Raptors. This team is real nice. Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, guys that have NBA rings that can bring championship atmosphere to the Raptors. Number 1 overall record in the East. For no further ado, Kyrie Irving, a.k.a. Uncle Drew, and Gordon Hayward. I seen Gordon Hayward play the week before last down in Chapel Hill playing the Hornets. He was kind of timid out there because he just came off that ankle injury. Once he get that ankle injury stuff out of his mind, sky's the limit for these young Celtics. And there you have it, folks. Tae Wiggs, NBA predictions. Like I said, log on to my Twitter or my YouTube channel at TAE_WIGGS. It's the same thing too for the Instagram. Y'all know who I am, Tae Wiggs. I'm out of here. Peace.